welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Shannon. I'm going to be doing regular vlogs, videos, just about like being a mum. My daughter's 1.5, nearly 2, and my son I had 6 weeks ago. My delivery of my son. Now, it was eventful to say the least, because there were so many complications that I wasn't aware of throughout my entire pregnancy. So when I first fell pregnant, I noticed that I was carrying really small weight. With my daughter, I went up to like a size 12 and I was quite big. But with my son, I'd lost weight during my pregnancy. So in my pregnancy I was fine, I was carrying really small. I thought I was carrying like my mum and my sister, because my mum and my sister carry small and they don't even look pregnant from behind it. They just look so slim and so fine, and that's how I was carrying. But I knew myself like something was not right. But throughout my pregnancy, when I hit 26, 27 weeks, I was leaking this fluid, and it was a clear fluid, but it was continuous. So I was walking one day from a shop with my brother and my daughter, and then I just had this big gush of water just run down my legs. And I was like, oh my days, did I just pee myself on accident? Sorry guys. But obviously I knew, I've never pissed myself before in pregnancy, so obviously I knew it was something else. I was just like, oh my days, this ain't normal. So as I rushed back to my mum's house, because I was literally like 1 minute away from her house, went upstairs, went toilet, noticed that it wasn't wee. And then when I was on the toilet, I kept leaking and leaking and leaking. And it happened 3-4 times when I was there. So after all of that, I was really worried and I was crying, because I was like, oh my days, I'm not ready to have the baby yet. He's only 26 weeks. Is he going to survive? Is he not going to survive? So many things are rushing through my mind. I was literally just like breaking down. I was crying my eyes out. So mum said, you know what, Shan, you go to the hospital now and I'll look after your daughter. So I said, okay. Went to the hospital, was in there for about 6 hours. They checked me and done speculums and stuff like that, and then the doctor that I had was a male, and he told me, oh, it's just vaginal discharge. He said what it is when you're pregnant with vaginal discharge, it's like a teacup. When you stand up, it's upright, but when you lay down or sit down, then it tilts and vaginal discharge comes out. I was like, I know the difference between vaginal discharge and clear water. So I was like, okay. So I was a bit pissed off, because I felt like he wasn't listening to me and he just wanted me out of there as soon as possible. 2 weeks later, I went to the hospital, because throughout them 2 weeks, I was leaking and leaking and leaking constantly, every single day on a day-to-day basis, and I had to wear sanitary towels and change them 3 to 4 times a day because there was so much liquid coming out of me. I went to the hospital again. So when I went to the hospital, I said, guys, listen, this ain't normal. I've been leaking loads. It ain't vaginal discharge. And they was like, oh yeah, well, let's have a look at you. Had more speculums done. And they kept checking me, and they said, well, we can't see the issue waters because your plug is still up there and it's firm and it's fine. So I was like, okay, well, it's not that then. So then after all of that, they checked me. They said, okay, because it's happened so many times now, we want to give you a scan. I said, yeah, I need to have a scan, because we need to find out what this is. Bearing in mind, I had 2 scans before this, so they didn't pick up anything, right? I went and had my scan the next day, and my cousin came with me. So we went for my scan, and then in my scan I was laying down, and I remember just laying down, and then the lady was looking all at my stomach and stuff. She was like, oh, everything seems fine. And she was looking. And she was like, oh wait, you haven't got a lot of amniotic fluid left. I said, what do you mean? And she was like, your water's like, there's only 6 centimeters left. So I was like, okay, what does that mean? And she was like, oh my gosh, like there's only 6 centimeters left. Like you need to go to triage right now, maternity assessment unit. So in my head, I have a million things going on. I'm crying my eyes out. I'm like, what do you mean? This is amniotic fluid. How the fuck did the doctor not pick this up beforehand? How did he misdiagnose me? Something could happen to my baby. So many things are rushing through my mind. I was literally just breaking down, crying my eyes out. And everyone's telling me to just like, Shannon, relax. But I know, I know that if you don't have enough water or enough amniotic fluid in the sac, then I'm prone to infection and so is my child. and stuff like sepsis. And sepsis is quite common to kill women during pregnancy, like during afterbirth and stuff like that, and obviously with babies. Well, when it's not been treated, but obviously because we wasn't aware for such a long period of time, I could have called sepsis. So in my head, I'm thinking of a million things, and I just wanted to beat up the doctor that misdiagnosed me. I went to triage. They kept checking me over and checked to see if the baby was okay, and then they said you may have to deliver early. So in my head, I'm thinking nothing. I'm like, oh, wait, what? I have to deliver early? What do you mean? And she was like, you may have to deliver your baby early. So I was like, okay. And then they're like, oh, we need to give you these jabs in your butt cheeks on both sides, one shot in each butt cheek. I said, okay, what's that for? And they said it's for your son's lungs. So it's all hormones and stuff for his lungs for when he comes early. I said, so he is for sure coming early? They're like, yeah, it's going to have to come early because you haven't got enough water. They told me that if my water goes below 4 centimetres, then I'm going to have an emergency cesarean. So in my head, I'm just panicking, freaking out, and so many things are rushing through my mind. I didn't know what to do, so I just remember crying a lot and crying and crying and not being able to stop, because you don't know what's going to happen to you, and you don't know what's going to happen to your son. I went home after getting my shots, and then they told me to come in every alternative day. So one day I'll be off, that will be my day to myself and my daughter. The next day I'll have to be in hospital, then I have to be off, then in hospital, and continuously. So I was in hospital 4 days a week, in and out, in and out, in and out, 4 or 5 days a week, in and out, in and out. So after all that, I was continuously leaking, and they told me don't walk a lot, don't try not to move, because we don't want you to continuously leak, otherwise you're going to have an emergency cesarean. So I said, okay. So I get home, I'm fine, I'm continuously leaking, I'm going back and forth, telling them the same thing. Then I started noticing that my plug wasn't there, so my plug was going. But I never knew that with your plug, it can recreate itself, and you can continuously lose your plug again, so many times. So because it keeps building itself back up. So that kept happening. I showed them, they was like, yeah, that's fine. And then one night I was laying down with my daughter, and then out of nowhere I looked at my daughter and she had like a bit of blood near her, and I was like, where the hell's that blood come from? Is my daughter okay? Like, I'm checking over everything, and then I looked down and then I just felt blood just come out of me, like loads of blood, and it was all over the bed. And then when I was walking to the bathroom, blood was just coming out of me, and I remember going into the shower and I remember breaking down, crying my eyes out, because obviously I thought I was having a miscarriage. So I'm inside the shower just like screaming and crying, because I'm thinking, oh no, not me, like I don't want this to happen. Like, my son is only 30 weeks, like, no, he wasn't even 30 weeks in, he's like 29 weeks. So I was breaking down, crying my eyes out, thinking, oh no, I'm going to lose my baby. Called an ambulance, went to hospital, and then they decided, oh, like, you're going to stay in. I said, okay, don't mind staying in. I sorted out where my daughter was going, whatever else. So once they told me I was staying in, I was like, alright, this is some deep shit. So I stayed in for 3 nights. I had a scan when I was there, and the man said, oh, your amniotic fluid's gone down to 3.9 centimetres. And I was like, 3.9 centimetres? I was told that if it goes down to below 4, then I have to have an emergency cesarean. So they was like, no, your baby seems fine, he's healthy, blah blah blah, you'll be fine. So after 3 days they sent me home. I was like, okay. But in my head I'm still panicking because I'm still leaking, and then I go back the second time and I'm bleeding again. So I had loads of blood everywhere, all over again. So in my head I'm just freaking out. And then once I get there for the second time after leaking, they told me, you're not going home, you're staying here until you have to give birth to your baby. I was like, wait, what? So I had to stay there and have continuous CTGs monitoring for my son when I was pregnant. It's just like having these two like sand things on your stomach, like one of it is just on your stomach, and they just wrap this thing around and basically just hear his heartbeat just to see how he's doing, to see if I'm contracting. So I had that every single day, 3 times a day when I was in there. I was in there for 4 weeks, bearing in mind. So I was doing that, and it was such a tough time for me because I felt like I was neglecting my daughter. And obviously I know I'm not, but I didn't see her. I barely saw her. I saw her about 5 times out of them 4 weeks. And that was the hardest bit for me. One of the hardest things for me when I was in there, because when she would come and see me, she would be confused and be like, why is my mum in here? And then it got to the point that when my daughter was coming, she didn't want to chat to me. Or she didn't want to go to me. And she'll scream and cry if I picked her up. And for me, that was one of the most hurtful things. And I just felt so bad and guilty that I was in hospital. But there's nothing that I could do about it because I'm doing what's best for the baby and what's best for me. So I found that really, really hard and really challenging. Like every time she came over, I would literally cry my eyes out as soon as I see her. I'll cry if like anyone showed me videos or photos of her. I'll just cry my eyes out. So that was really hard for me. It was like an emotional roller coaster that I just felt like I was never going to get off. So after all of that, not seeing my daughter and stuff, they kept I went on 3-day releases where they just let you go out for the whole day and then you just come out when the night stuff comes. So I've done that 3 times. And on the 3rd time, I bled again. So after that bleeding, I started feeling like stomach pains, back pains and like contractions and stuff. And I was just like, oh my God, like what is this? Like, is this hurting me? Blah, blah, blah. And then they said, oh, it could be contractions, but it's fine. So I was like, okay. And then, because I was bleeding so much, the doctor would come in and review me every single day. So the doctor came in and she finally said after 3 weeks into it, like, I do want you to have a cesarean, but we're going to go and take you to your fetal medical scan. A fetal medical scan is where it's a very detailed scan to make sure that all the baby's limbs and organs and everything is okay and functioning well, and like his measurements on all his bones and how long he was. And then they told me he was underweight. So I knew that there was so many things wrong at that point. I was like, he's underweight. I said, I knew in myself that there was something wrong from when I realised that I was carrying so small. So I was like, what? He's underweight. So that was another thing on my brain. They were concerned about him being underweight because he wasn't putting on any weight throughout the whole process. So I was like, oh my gosh, like, is he okay? And they checked like the blood flow and through the umbilical cord and everything was fine. So I was like, okay, but I was still panicking. A couple of days later after that, they told me, yeah, you're gonna have a cesarean really soon, after I had my fetal medical scan. So I said, okay. They gave me another appointment for another week for another fetal medical scan, and then I had that one, and then they was like, yeah, you need to give birth. You need to give birth within the next couple of days. And then I was sitting there with the lady and she was like, oh, you're gonna give birth tomorrow. I was like, what? Tomorrow? And she was like, yeah. She was like, oh, you can have a natural delivery. So I was opting for a natural delivery anyway, because the thought of needles, someone cut me open whilst I'm awake, and all of that just freaked me out. Like, I've been petrified of needles and stuff. Like, I had about 10 cannulas put in my hands throughout the whole process of being there, getting my blood done near enough every single day, and stuff like that. So that was really hard for me. So after all of that, I was laying down in bed. My sister and my cousin came over to see me and see how I was doing. So they came over to see me. We were just relaxing because that was the day that I was meant to have my, I was meant to give birth. And after all of that, they told me, oh, you're gonna have cesarean. I was like, okay. So I had to stop eating for over 12 hours. So I stopped eating the night before at about 8 PM or 10 PM, and then the next day came and my sister and my cousin were there and stuff, so I didn't eat. So I knew I was going to have a cesarean. But you can never be prepared for it, because you seem on the outside that you're okay with it, and you think, yeah, I've got the hang of this, I've got this, I can do it, I can conquer the world, I'll be fine. But I was panicking like hell. Like, I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, what if I die on the operating table, what if I die? Like, I was thinking so many things, like what if my son dies, blah blah blah. And that was such a hard thing for me to think about, because you never want to think about your child dying. So that was really hard for me. And then obviously I was 33 weeks and 2 days, and then my sister and my cousin were there as well. We were laying down, I was getting my CTG done, the monitoring for my son, to check his heartbeat and stuff. So yeah, they checked my son's heartbeat and they couldn't find it. So at this point I'm panicking, and I just kicked my sister and my cousin out, and I was like, get the fuck out of here. I said, guys, you gotta get out of here. I said, I need to, like, I was just breaking down. I was like, no, get out, get out, get out. Like, I need to be by myself for a second and just need to relax, like, and get myself together. Like, I thought I had lost him at that point. I was going through all of that, literally shitting myself, and then I ended up finding his heartbeat. Bearing in mind, they'd already told me I was going to have a C-section, my worst fit ever. Well, prior to everything, so I was just waiting now. They found his heartbeat. Then my midwife came and she said, like, oh, you may have to give birth tomorrow, having a cesarean. We was like, no, we've waited this long, like, come on, I've waited this long without eating nearly 24 hours, and you're telling me, well, it was 20 hours, but nearly 24. And you're telling me now that I have to wait until tomorrow and not eat again tomorrow. I said, no, I need food, I need to eat. Something needs to happen. So after all of that, we're laying down, my son's heartbeat's rising. It's not stopping. Like, it's just going higher and higher and higher and higher, all the way up to 100, and saying just kept going up and up and up and up and up. So I'm panicking, I was like, this ain't normal. I know that this is not normal, mate. It's not fucking normal. So after all of that, the midwife continuously goes upstairs and tries to tell the surgeons and stuff, like, she needs to have a cesarean now. And they were like, no, she can wait. So then the midwife came back down, and she saw my CTG, the heart rate was going up so high. She took the CTG with her, and the paper from the CTG that has it all printed out of his heartbeat, she takes it to him upstairs. She comes back down with a doctor, and the doctor's just like, yep, you're gonna give birth right now. What? Right now? Yeah, right now. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna have cesarean now. But by this point, my sister and my cousin left, because I was just fuming. I was like, bruv, you gotta go, innit? You gotta go, mate. You gotta go, because I'm panicking, and if you lot are around me and you lot panicking, it's gonna make me panic even more, so bye. So my sister and my cousin left. So I'm here now with my baby father and stuff now. And I'm just panicking, like, oh my god, I'm gonna have cesarean. So they're walking me upstairs and getting in the lift, and I'm just crying my eyes out the whole time. They're telling me to get naked and all this shit. I'm like, oh my god, like, shit's getting real. So then I'm there and I'm just like, oh my god, like, I'm gonna have cesarean. So I get ready. Then they tell me, oh, your baby father cannot come in the room. I said, no. He has to come in the room whilst I'm getting my epidural, otherwise I'm gonna lose my shit, mate. I'm gonna lose my fucking shit. Like, I'm gonna lose my nut. I am petrified of needles, yeah. The fact that a long ass needle's going in my back, you're driving me on, mate. No, he needs to come in. They were like, no, he can't come in until after everything's done and you're laying down about to get operated on. What? Thank God there was this midwife there, yeah, that I had when I was pregnant with my daughter, yeah. Oh, she's a lovely girl, yeah. She's a young girl. That girl saved my life, yeah. If she wasn't there, I would have lost my shit and wouldn't have been having panic attacks. I would have lost my fucking shit. Thank God for her. Thank God. I was so happy she was there, and because it was nice to have a familiar face, and she was so lovely as well. So when I'm laying there, and they had to put, during the day, they put a cannula in this hand and a cannula in this hand. So the cannula in this hand got done first, and then the lady had bruised me and made my blood clot, so I had to get that one taken out like 6 hours later. and it was just gushing from blood. And then the lady tried to put one in this hand, and then she couldn't get the blood out and kept putting it in and out, in and out, in and out. Like, I was in pain. And then when I go upstairs to go and get my C-section and stuff, they have to put a cannula in your hand because they give you fluids throughout the process. Oh my God. The lady, I had one in already because she tried, yeah? She took that one out. She tried to do one here, took that one out. She tried to do one here, took that one out, and then she ended up putting another one here with a smaller needle. I'm sitting there in pain like, oh my gosh, like, you're actually taking the piss out of me. What do you think? I'm a guinea pig. So, after all of that, they're like, oh, okay, that's all done. Your cannula's in. I was like, oh, thank God, my cannula's in. Cannula's in. So yeah, so after all of that, they told me to like bend like that. Yeah, I felt like some bloody, I don't even know, yeah, I just felt weird. The pain, it's not that bad, but still, I'm not a needle person, so it wasn't great for me. So then they tell you to lay down. You lay down on the bed, and you can only feel your left side getting paralysed. I'm sitting there like, blood clot, you better paralyse my other side, you know, because if you don't, about to be fucked up in here, because I ain't letting you operate on me until that leg's numb. So I was waiting for time for this leg to get numb. So my leg eventually went numb, but I was literally doing like that with my feet and my legs the whole time, because I was like, I'm still moving, I'm still moving, I'm still moving. I am meant to be moving, so I kept on doing it until my legs were just like, and then my toes were just like, and then eventually it was numb. And literally, like, I was numb from like my tits all the way down to my toes. I thought that was a bit too much, but hey ho. So she was doing that, and then baby father came in, he was there, and then you have to have, you know, the armband on your arm to check your blood pressure and stuff like that. Oh my God. They had that thing on so tight on my arm, it bruised all my arm, all here. Like, I was in so much pain, and like, it got to the point there where my hand, right, where it was so tight, where it was bruising my hand was all like that, all like crippled, like, yeah. It was all crippled, and I was like, I can't move my fingers. And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, I can't move my fingers, can't move my head. And I was like, oh, sorry. That was the funny moment there. But yeah, anyways, so that happened, and then obviously they were doing it. I was panicking. I was having a panic attack throughout it, yeah, but I just tried to keep my cool and not show anyone that. So that happened, and then my son was finally born. That was hard for me, because I only saw him for 10 seconds, if that. They just come and show you the baby, and then they just take your baby away. Now that was, it was traumatic, because you can't even like hug him, you can't do skin on skin, you can't touch him. I was just distraught. I was so upset, it was beyond me. And then I can't go and see him after I give birth to him until the next day. And I had my cesarean, he was born at 7:53. So I was just like, so yeah, I was just distraught, not being able to hold my son for the first time and stuff like that. So he just went, and his dad went with him, so I had no one there with me. I was just laying there getting sewn back up, and I had no one there. And it's like, I wanted his dad to be with me, but at the same time I was like, no, you need to be with your son. So he went with Shay, and I was just laying there. I was just like on my legs, like, my son's just gone away from me. You just can't do anything. So then after all of that, I told him that, go upstairs, go take loads of photos of him and stuff like that, and bring it down. The photos I saw of him was so heartbreaking, because he had the mask over his face, he had cannulas in his hands and stuff like that, and there's wires everywhere, a tube in his nose, and you just don't expect your child to be on all of that. I didn't expect to have him early. I didn't know nothing about it until I was 27, 28 weeks anyway. So I was just like, oh my God, this is some real shit. Like, I just I remember seeing the photos, just crying my eyes out. I just thought like, my poor baby has to go through all of this. Like, I would do it a million times over for either one of my kids, but I felt more sorry for him because it was out of his control, it was out of my control obviously, but it was so heartbreaking, like seeing your son have all the things all over him. And I went up the next day and they took the thing off his face. No, at that point the thing was still on his face actually. I went upstairs and I saw him, and all I remember was just looking at him and crying my eyes out. Like, oh my god. My son is like, he looked fucked. No offense, son. He looked fucked. It was so scary, and he was so tiny, and his little bones, like he had so much excess skin, he had tiny little skinny bones. He wasn't translucent or anything, thank God. But he's just, oh, he just looked so fragile, and like, I couldn't touch him or anything. And then the next day came, and then he had the mask off and just had these 2 tubes up his nose. And then I touched him for the first time. God, just touching him felt so amazing. Just being able to just use one finger just to stroke his little hand, his little leg. Like, it was just, I was just crying the whole time. Like, I was really upset. I would sing to him a song that I used to sing to my daughter after I gave birth to her. She still loves the song. I used to sing it to him, and every time I sang to him I'd break down and cry. Because it's just, I don't know, it's just so heartbreaking seeing your son and you can't do nothing to help him. Like, yeah, it's just awful and awful. And then I just kept breaking down, obviously. I went the next day and they discharged me the next day as well. And his tubes were at his nose, just had 1 tube in for feeding, but he still had these cannulas in and stuff like that, and wires everywhere. So that was good, that he didn't need any more support with his breathing. So after all of that, they moved him to another room once they had taken the tubes out his nose and everything. He's in the other room. It was just so sad because you see so many people going in and out of there, and you see some parents that are never there, or some parents that are there, but a couple of people, I remember seeing some of them there and then they wasn't for days, and then they were and then they wasn't. I just thought, that's like, I had to be with my son 24/7. I understand everyone's got their own shit going on, so I don't know what's going on in their personal life, but I just felt for the babes. I was just like, oh, like, your parents should be here for you, innit? But yeah, so it was just, you see other babies, there's babies there with breathing problems that are like 10 times the size of him, with breathing problems and stuff like that, and you're just like, oh my god, like, this is some real shit. Like, the babies, like, the other babies have serious problems and stuff like that. Like, it was scary, it was really scary. But my son kept moving from room to room to room, and then I remember coming in one day and they said, oh, he'll probably be out by the 5th, just keep the 5th in mind, the 5th of December, because that's when he was due. And I was like, okay. So I was just like, oh, for fuck's sake, you're telling me I have to wait this long for my son to come out? Like, I just wanted to be with me at home. Then the next day I came, the lady was like, he's doing so well, he's bottle feeding, we're going to take his tube out of his nose so he ain't going to get fed through a tube, and he's going to come home. The excitement I had all over me, I was just so excited. I was jumping for joy. I was like, yes! My son is finally coming home. He's going to be with his mummy and his sister, and he's going to see his dad, and going to see aunties, uncles, grandparents. Like, I was just so overjoyed. Like, I was the happiest buddy ever. My son is going to come home to his mother. I was so excited. So then I got there, and then usually, because every single time I went up there, because I was so depressed and so sad and so distraught, I literally got up there in tracksuit, my hair just tied up all rough, all curly, and I just looked bummy. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't look great then, but I was going through such a hard time myself. You don't expect me to look great, yeah? I'm not gonna sit there, do my makeup, my nails, be like, yeah baby, like, no, yeah, no. I was feeling it and I was distraught. and I was heartbroken, I was depressed and upset. So the day I knew he was coming home, done myself all up, makeup done, hair done, outfit all nice, fleeky. I felt amazing because I knew he was just going to be home with his mum. And then I just got him in my arms, and I got him dressed, and got him ready, and they were like, you can take him home now. And I was like, I can take him home. Yep, you can take him home. And I was like, yes! And I went downstairs to go and show all like the midwives and stuff that had dealt with me throughout my pregnancy when I was in the hospital, and they were like, oh my god, I'm so excited for you. Like, everyone was so excited. It was such a nice feeling. But yeah, so that weren't the nicest of pregnancies. And I also had SPD in my pregnancy. For those who don't know what SPD is, it's basically your pelvis, like the cartilage in between your pelvis, the baby's applying pressure on it, it's bending. So I was in a lot of discomfort and my bones kept chafing and stuff like that. So getting in and out of bed and going up and down the stairs and stuff like that when I was pregnant with him was absolutely difficult. I had it with my daughter as well. But with my daughter I had persistent itching. That's a whole other story I'll end up doing. There were a couple of little mishaps with that pregnancy too. But yeah, this was just a traumatic time for me because you don't hear about things like, oh, your baby's going to be born premature. You never hear of, oh, you can lose your amniotic fluid at this rate and that rate and this rate and that rate, because 1 minute mine was 6 centimetres, then it was 3.9, then it was 3, then it was 2.9, then it was 1.9, then it was 1.4. Why the hell did they leave me for so long? Anything could happen to my son, anything could happen to me. Thank God it didn't, touch wood. It didn't, but still, anything could happen. I don't think that they should have prolonged it out for as long as they did, because there was more risk of an infection happening or anything happening and stuff like that, or me dying or him dying. So that was awful to me anyways, but he came out, so that's fine. But yeah, it was just horrific for me and a very emotional time for me. Probably the hardest things I've ever had to go through in my whole entire life, and a lot of fucked up things have happened, mate, but that one topped it. And it was just really hard for me. But my son's here, boo-boo, and he's doing fine and he's healthy. Even though I find he's got colic today, I was like, oh my god, last night I didn't get no sleep, was screaming his head off, did not stop. He's okay and he's healthy, and that's all that matters, and he's starting to put on weight, he's starting to gain weight, but he's still so itty bitty. I'll show you in a second. But yeah, I just thought I'll share that with you guys as a nice icebreaker. And there's still so much more to come that I've planned with my kids, myself, family and stuff like that. So it's going to be a very, I don't know, funny, quirky vlog. I'll be showing raw content. Like, I'm not going to show, like, you know, when you see other mums and stuff, like not all of them but some of them, majority of them I think, is pretty fake. It's like, oh my child is so great, that's so amazing, they listen to me, they do whatever I say, they never make mess, they're in a routine. No, yeah, no, it doesn't plan out like that. It really doesn't. It is hard, don't get me wrong, very hard. Your kids don't always listen, your kids batch at you. My daughter's going through a stage now where she just tells me no, she looks at me and goes, no. Nope, and cuts her at me. I'm like, girl, I am not one of your friends, you know. I'm your mother, respect me, yeah? But yeah, there's going to be loads of things going on, and I'm going to take him loads of adventures that I'm going to be going on and stuff like that. So let me leave it there, because I don't want this to be the longest video ever. But it's nice that I got to show you a piece of me. So much more to come. Thank you for watching my channel. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you like and subscribe this video. And yeah, not even that, I want to get awareness out to other mums that you're not alone, and that loads of these things that do happen is not common, but you'll be fine no matter what the outcome is. And I just want to support loads of mothers, really. I just really want to support loads of mothers. I feel like I'm a good person to talk to when it comes to pregnancies and about children, and I'm a really nice and bubbly person, so yeah. Let me leave it there because I'm just gonna go on forever. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the little talk, sit down we had and everything. And this is my little Shay, my little son. He's now 6 weeks old today, on a Thursday, the 13th of November. But yeah, he's doing fine, he's growing, he's still itty bitty, but he's fine. I wouldn't have him any other way. But yeah, thank you guys for watching my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And me and my son Shay, my daughter Lele, who's not here today, will be back very soon. Say bye, boo-boos. Say bye, boo-boos. Say bye. Oh, you look so red. Mummy, love you much, girl.